Hey, I am Lee Andrews, and I am going to talk to you about ethics in reward-based crowdfunding. The first thing to know is the difference between crowdfunding and crowdsourcing. Crowdsourcing is where you go out to a large group of people in order to get ideas or feedback, advice, or information in order to help solve a problem that you have. There's no money involved, nothing like that. Crowdfunding, on the other hand, is where you go to a large group of people and raise small amounts of money from all of the people in order to raise a lot of money to fund an idea that you have. We're going to take a look at two case studies of crowdfunding and how they're similar, how they're different, and the ethics behind those campaigns. What makes them ethical, what makes them, unethical. The first one I want to take a look at is Asylum Playing Cards. Asylum created a crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter in order to raise $15,000 over a 30-day campaign, where their main offer was a one-of-a-kind playing card deck printed by Bicycle and designed by a Serbian artist. They had add-ons that included custom dice, unique poker chips, you could add extra decks, all that kind of stuff. It was a very legitimate campaign. Everybody was very excited. They had over 800 people backing it. But then their delivery date was supposed to be December of 2012 in time for Christmas, and they were unable to hit that date. Not only that, but they communicated with their backers, hey, we're having some delays in February. Over a month later, they finally got another update that said long overdue update and explanation. And then today they still have not delivered the product, and their last communication was over a year ago. At that time it was creating comments like, hey, is this going to be ready for Christmas? Are there any updates? Still no updates? What's going on? And then, a month without updates. A lot of the customers were complaining, and there was no communication, so there was nothing that they had to hold on to. And currently the Attorney General for the state of Washington has filed a lawsuit against the company that ran that campaign, and it's still in the works. There have been no developments since May of this year. Now I want to take a look at this other campaign called Riding Shotgun, the animated series. Now this campaign was run on Indiegogo, which allows for what's called a flexible funding campaign. So whatever money you raise, you're allowed to keep. So here we see that their goal is $40,000, and they were only able to raise about $20,000 of that. But they keep all of that money, even though they're not going to be able to complete this series. Again, it was a 30-day campaign. Their goal was $40,000, even though they only raised $20,000. The main offer was a digital download of the first season of Riding Shotgun. Add-ons included DVDs, exclusive contents, and a new comic that continued off of the old comic that the series was based on. Unfortunately, like I said, they did not hit their goal and were only able to raise $20,000. But what they did that the Asylum company did not was they communicated very openly with their backers. They offered, when they realized they weren't going to hit their goal, they offered two options. One, you could get a full refund, or two, you could stick with them and they would try and find another way to raise the funds to create either a feature film or to do the actual series. They were very open and said this may take years, it may never get done, so we'll just be open with you and keep you informed as things develop. The overwhelming majority of people said, it sucks that you didn't reach your goal, but you can count on me to stick with you to develop and raise the funds. This other guy said, it's too bad that you didn't raise the money, but keep mine, and you guys are doing great work. Hopefully it'll be useful. So when we look at these two companies together, both were unable to deliver what they said they would. Asylum is being sued in a consumer protection lawsuit while Mondo Media, the company that ran the Riding Shotgun campaign, has walked away with almost $20,000, which, sure, they had to give some of it back, but still almost $20,000 and no lawsuit. They have no timeline. They don't ever actually have to complete the series or do a film. So how is this ethical? In my mind, it's how people view you. So where Asylum really messed up was there was no communication, there was no clear plan, and they didn't offer the consumers a way to get their funds back or a plan moving forward. Mondo Media did both of those. They offered the refund, and because they were such a well-liked company, they were so open, they were able to keep most of that money and continue on doing other projects. That's kind of just a quick look at how rewards-based crowdfunding can be ethical or not based on just the perception of the company and the communication that they have with their customers.